pals. My name is Allison.
And I'm Tori. And this is Library List. So today we are talking about our TBRs for July. So we've each picked 6 books, and this is by no means all the books we're gonna read, but it is the ones we've chosen to read.
Yeah, we're both very much mood readers, so it's kind of whatever we feel like reading is what we pick up next. So I don't really have a specific theme. I don't think you do either. I think we kind of just picked a bunch of books and we'll see how it goes this month.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess. Do you want to talk about what we're currently reading?
Yeah, so I am currently finishing up Silver by Chris Wooding. I feel like I've been reading this book for a decade.
Yeah, she was reading this in our weekend reading vlog, which isn't up yet, but...
It's been so long. I think I've been reading this for like 2 weeks. Because I keep picking up other books. Like, I don't hate it. I'm not, like, as enthused as I am by his other works, which is why I think maybe it's taking me forever. But I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish it, like, today or tomorrow.
It'll be, like, 3 days from now. It's fine. And the book I'm currently reading, I just started yesterday, and I am 14% of the way through, and that is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. This is the first book. The second book is actually coming out on the 7th, so that's 6 more days from when we're filming this. And that is actually the first book we're both going to talk about, being excited for.
Yeah. I just finished this. This was one of my last reads, and I absolutely loved it, and I am so excited for the sequel. I'm going to be reading it as soon as possible.
Yeah, I am 14% of the way through this. Like I said, I have it on Libby, so I'm listening to it on audio while I'm doing chores and things, and then I'm going to also kind of flip to the physical book as well. But I'm really enjoying it so far. Spoiler alert, but like the Carl thing, the fact that Carl, I'm dead. I kind of hate that I see myself in the main character, but you know, that's fine. I kind of hate that for me. It's okay. But no, this is really good so far. This is one of the books I've been looking forward to reading the most, and I'm really anticipating the sequel, so I think I'm gonna like this, but I'm really excited. Also, no one told me this was gay, and I need to have a talk with y'all, because y'all, what the fuck? Why did no one tell me this was gay? It's gay from, like, page 3.
I was also offended that
What
I
the
had no
fuck?
idea. I would have read it as soon as we got it. I just didn't know.
Yeah. So,
I'm sorry I doubted you, Hank.
No, we are definitely going to be getting our hands on the physical copy of the sequel, which is a beautifully foolish endeavor. The cover's kind of awful, but the cover of this one's kind of awful for our rainbow shelf, but that's okay. We love you, Hank.
So the next book that we're going to be reading is actually another new release that also comes out on July 7th. And that is Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power.
Her book, Wilder Girls, came out last year in 2019, and that was her debut, and I loved it. I bought the book right before I went on vacation because it was a pretty cover, and then this one finally just read it this year.
I read it at, like, the beginning of the year, but yeah, it took me way too long.
We're both really excited for this new book, specifically because it's queer, but there's no romance.
Yes, very excited.
Super.
So next up, we're going to talk about our 6 individual picks for this month.
The first book that I'm reading is on our question mark shelf, which, just to give you a quick explanation, are books that we buy not anticipating to love, but we pick them up and give them a chance anyway. Most of the time they get redonated.
Yeah, usually they're really cheap, like $3 or $4 each, and that's why we give them a chance.
Yeah, so the first book that I am reading this month is actually off that shelf, and that is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. Listen, y'all, I've tried every Renee Ahdieh book that exists. I don't like any of them. And this is supposed to be like a Mulan retelling, and it sounds really cool, and it's got like the deckled edges, so they're all uneven, which is really cool. It's fine. I'm probably not gonna like this, which sucks knowing going into it, but like, it's so pretty, and I wanna love it, but it's fine.
My first book is Tell the Wind and Fire by Sarah Rees Brennan. I'm really excited for this one. It is about a girl that grows up on the dark side of the city, and she kind of swindles her way into the light side of the city, and it's about her trying to hide that and her journey there, and all the antics she gets up to there. It sounds like it's going to be kind of similar in vibe to The Walled City, and I really, really love that book. I have high hopes for this one. I hope I like it.
The second book that I have, funny enough, is a Chris Wooding book. This is my first time reading Chris Wooding, and I'm going to read The Haunting of Eliza Cray. I am excited to read this. I don't really know that much about it, but I'm excited to read it, and this one's finally convinced me to read a Chris Wooding, so you should be proud.
I'm very excited. I haven't read them in a really long time. I hope they hold up. I'm very excited.
Yeah, no. From reading the blurbs on the back from other people, it sounds like something I'm really gonna like. Kind of like dark, gothic, I don't know, but it sounds really cool and I'm excited.
Speaking of Chris Wooding, my next book is The Storm Thief by Chris Wooding. And this is kind of like a steampunky, a little bit fantasy type story. This one I think is the one that I remember the least out of the Chris Wooding books that I've read, but it's also one that I have like really positive impressions of. So I'm very excited to reread this. It's been like 10 years since I read it.
Oh.
So I hope he holds up.
The next book that I have is a contemporary, and that is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. I don't know too much about this other than it is a male-male romance. I believe it follows one of our main characters who decides to go back in the closet after his family moves to a predominantly Mormon town, and then our main character has to deal with his feelings towards another boy, but also his feelings about religion. It sounds really cool. I also have this one on audio, so I'll probably listen to this one as opposed to actually read it, but I might flip back and forth. I've only read one Christina Lauren, but I really enjoyed it. That was an adult book, and this is YA, so I'm interested to see how that holds up.
So next up I have Emperor of Any Place by Tim Wynne-Jones. I am super excited for this one. I basically know nothing about it. It's super pretty, and that's actually why we bought it.
The only reason we bought it, to be real.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this book other than I think it's a contemporary, or like somewhere adjacent to a contemporary.
Who knows? We know nothing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a try. I'm really excited. I hope I like it because I want to keep it because it's pretty.
Next we have another hefty boy. And that is the new Sarah J. Maas book. I do not know what the name of this is. Is it Crescent City? Is it House of Earth and Blood? I have no idea. Whatever this is, I'm gonna read it.
I really can't figure out what the title is.
One of them is the title of the series, and one of them is the title of the book. I don't know what's what, but I'm gonna read this. That's all I know. I'm really excited for this. I have high hopes. I tried to read Throne of Glass back in like high school, and I didn't finish after the second book, and I've yet to go back. But I did like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and that's more new adult, besides, you know, the cringy sex scenes, but we don't talk about those here. But no, I am really excited for this one because I believe this is supposed to be adult from Sarah J. Maas, which I'm not sure what that's gonna look like, but I am excited. I have high hopes, and because this is the start of a new series, if it's good, that means I have more books to read, so we'll see.
Next up, I am doing a reread that I am very excited for, and I will probably actually reread the whole series, but I'm going to be rereading The Hunger Games. It has been probably about 5 or 6 years since I read these, and I've reread this first one and Catching Fire, I think twice maybe, but I've never reread Mockingjay. I watched a video recently where Lena Norms reread the entire Hunger Games trilogy, and it just made me want to read Hunger Games again. And I think I might drag this one into watching the movies with me after I reread them.
I have all of them. On Blu-ray.
I've never seen any of the movies.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I dragged my parents to all the premieres. They liked them. I made my parents read these. And they liked them.
I never watched any of the movies. I just read the books a lot and really liked them. I don't know why I never watched the movies.
Are you gonna read the prequel?
Maybe. I might read the prequel.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I read the prequel when it came out because we bought it when it came out. And I have thoughts that I would like to share with you.
okay, I'll read the prequel. No, I'm super excited to reread these. I remember them reading really fast and really enjoying them. And I'm also a little terrified that in this current climate, they will cause a lot of anxiety. But it's fine.
Fine. Next, I have another contemporary that I've been meaning to get to for literally forever, since last year's Y'all Fest. Actually, I think even before that. And that is I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. I follow them on Twitter. I love Mason. If you don't follow Mason on Twitter, you are missing out, please. Please go follow Mason. But this is about a non-binary character who gets kicked out of their home after they come out to their parents. They move back in with their sister, who they haven't seen in like 10 years. I am so excited! I don't know why I haven't read this, and I need to read it, so I'm reading it this month. I'm not listening to this one. I am going to physically read it, but I'm so excited!
So next up, I have one that I don't know anything about at all. I'm not even sure what genre this is, but it's one that we picked up at Second and Charles that I think I picked up for maybe $3.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, it's called Wink Poppy Midnight. It's by April Genevieve Tukulki.
We might have mispronounced that. We're so sorry.
I think I butchered it, yeah. But it's gorgeous. I did not fully appreciate this cover when I picked it up. It's so pretty.
Yes.
Literally no clue. I think it's gonna be kind of mystery thrillery. I get that vibe anyway.
The front cover says a hero, a villain, a liar. Who's who? And that's all we know.
Yeah, I literally haven't even read the summary for this one, so I'm excited to go in blind.
The last book I have to talk about is actually one that we have on audio that I'm really excited to listen to, and that is The 10,000 Doors of January. I have heard a lot of other people talk about this book, but I don't really know that much about it. It sounds really good from what I've heard, and it was available at the library, so I'm gonna give it a listen and see.
So my last book is actually a nonfiction book. So I am reading The White Darkness by David Grann. I've read 2 of his other books this year. I read Killers of the Flower Moon and The Lost City of Z, and I bought this one and The Devil in Sherlock Holmes. So I'm hoping to get through both of those by the end of the year, and I'm starting with this one. He's very small.
He's got pictures.
He does. He has pictures all throughout him. He's about Antarctic exploration. I'm very excited.
Okay, so that's everything that we have for this month so far. Like Tori said, this certainly isn't everything that we're going to read this month. This is just kind of what we are hoping to read. But if you've got any thoughts on any of these books, go on ahead. Let us know down below. We are interested to hear if you have thoughts on any of them. Also, please, if you've read A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, please talk to me about it. Nobody in my life has read this book. Please talk to me about it. Please. Please. I beg of you, please.
That's everything for now.
Links in the description as always.
Yeah.
Bye!